Yo dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up with another painting tutorial on this glorious Friday, the literal best of all days. We got some stuff lined up for you today. We're in the midst of our Tyranid project. I had mentioned that last video. It's going to be a lot of Tyranids here for a while. As I've talked about many times before, I can only do tutorials on the commissions that I'm taking in. It's the only way I can make a living wage. Interesting news though. October 10th was Next Level Painting's anniversary. I've been in business for 5 years. I feel pretty good about that, and so obviously I'm not complaining that I have to film my tutorials, but I would love to, create a little bit more value for all my patrons, for the longwar.net, and even for this YouTube channel right here. Speaking of patrons, I just want to do a quick shout out here. We got 3 new patrons. We got Klaus, thank you brother, Michael, and also Don. Thank you guys. Big shout out to Eric. You guys are the reason I do this, and your support means everything over on Patreon. Additionally, the longwar.net is your hobby resource for early and exclusive access to all my videos, the weekly battle reports, weekly webcasts. That's actually the big news right now, is the weekly webcast, which is live for the public free every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, is going exclusive to the Hall of Veterans over in the longwar.net on members page. It's only there now. So if you miss it live, the only way you can check it out is by going to the longwar.net and signing up. But don't worry, you can try it for free. Totally no strings attached. It's even easy to cancel if you don't like it. Literally cancel. We don't hit you with, ridiculous strings attached garbage. Literally just, if you don't like it, just cancel. We're going to be adding a lot more content here in the future, really soon actually. We are going to be doing a codex must-take section. Obviously, 5 things you need to take out of every codex. We're going to be doing a lot more bonus features on the battle reports. So all like the post-game interviews and the tactics, breakdowns, and deleted scenes and bonus content, we're going to be doing that a little bit more filled out than we normally do. And we're going to be providing that on the longwar.net as exclusive content, as a compendium to the battle reports. Just try to create more value. I've said it a million times. Don't do it for money. It does take money to do this though. Speaking of money, Kickstarter. Our Kickstarter is delayed. I apologize to everyone who's looking forward to the shirts and the swag. It is a little bit more overwhelming than Rob and I had anticipated, and we are working tirelessly to get this thing launched. We got the video shot, we got all the pictures. The thing that's kind of getting us hung up here is the fact that we're not a manufacturing company, though we're providing all these rewards, so we're having to subcontract and middleman all these rewards, and it's a lot of things to manage. We're trying to get the best quality, but it will go up soon. We're really trying to have it up this month. Please stand by. All right, enough of that. Let's jump right into these Tyranids. Let's do this thing. 5 simple tricks to painting Tyranids. Coming in with a super cool Xenos theme. So tip 1 is always going to be get your primer right. In this case, we're using Army Painter Demonic Yellow. For this whole project, we're going to be using Demonic Yellow. So literally, this will change your life if you're trying to do anything with a yellow base. Big surprise, tip 2 is going to be get your wash game on lock. And this is actually a Vallejo wash. It's one of the best washes I've ever used. I've been really impressed by these guys. Typically, I'm a GW fanboy in the wash front, but I love everything about Vallejo. And now you get to add washes to that category of things I love. So we're going to be liberally washing this model, but controlling the flow with the paintbrush. Don't let it pull up. Keep moving it around. We're even going to go over all the smooth tentacles and let it wash up and build up around some of the little spiky nubs and whatnot. Wash technique really works on these, I want to call them floating testicles, because they have that brain pattern and everything. So it really is going to get in there, help us blend some of these details together, and let us make our airbrush work for us. On a project like this, you really want to do a time assessment and figure out where you want to put your time. You want to put them in the 60-point troop choices that are, take up your whole force organization slot, or do you want to put them in the big guys? Let's jump right into Scarlet Red, one of my classics. And we're going to start airbrushing it from the areas that these tentacles meet the body, like the areas that might be, grosser or sore. That's kind of where I'm going with it, it's kind of radiating out from there. I'm just trying to come up with a really nice alien, just something that's not human at all, to match all the Tyranids that we're doing with this red and this yellow. This is part of the whole autumn leaves, fall Tyranid scheme. Going back into our Minotaur paints, we're going to drag out some of this pumpkin orange, and we're going to start blending. This is a technique that we talked about in the last video, back shading. We're going to start neutral. We started adding some of our dark shadows, and then we're going to go back to a lighter version of it to blend the dark red with the yellow. You don't always do this, but when you're working a heavy airbrush theme on a little bit of a larger model, especially an organic model like these Tyranids, this technique will do work. Change your life. So start neutral, work some of the shadows in, and then start blending those shadows into your neutral. Because it's organic and kind of go, and it can kind of flow anywhere. So let's jump in, do our gangster mode. This is the gangster gumbo as I've coined it. You've seen it in a few other videos. We're just dropping some of this Vallejo game color. This is their equivalent to Badwing yellow. This is like a really bright yellow. We're dumping it right in the pot with what is left over of the pumpkin orange from that Minotaur line. And like I said, I don't really recommend Minotaur. They literally suck. It's just that they're so thin that they work perfectly for the back shading technique that I'm talking about here. So now we're going to even blend it further. When you're on a larger model that you're blending, you kind of want to be more subtle than you've ever been before. You can be a lot more extreme on the small models because the wash and all the other techniques that we've shown you is going to really do a lot of work there. But in these models, these larger models with these big smooth surfaces, you're really going to want to just get subtle. And so we're going, like I said, neutral, wash, dark, then one step removed from that dark, then another step removed from that. As many areas as we can hit. So now we're going to go back to this yellow, start over, make a gangster gumbo, throw a little bit of white in with that yellow, and now we're going to start blending out from the tips. And we want these things to be really bright. We want it to just kind of look super unnatural. Like, why is it doing this? Is it glowing? Is it like changing colors as we're watching it? Just trying to get that really interesting Xenos theme, especially on the Tyranids, who are known for adapting to the planet that they land on, you know. I think that my client and I had theorized that these Tyranids invaded a world full of ruins, and while the season was changing, and we're putting them on all these ruin bases and trying to like build some of the ruin dust into them, like they're changing with it too. And you'll see that maybe later. I'll do a whole basing tutorial with these guys. Let's jump right into whites. And now that we've done that really subtle white mixed with the yellow, we're going to just burn out the very, 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 very tip of these tentacles with just a little bit of white. Pop! There it is. You can see it's give it that last look. And a lot of times these models are hard to see because their bases aren't done in this step. The base really is going to frame in the model and the colors, which is why I always go with a darker base. And I always paint the rims of the base black. It helps frame the model. It really creates contrast. So as we're adding these effects, we're going to be moving into our next simple trick. See if any of you guys can guess what it is. It's a new one. Alien effects. We're going to start with Gnarls Green, and we're going to just start blowing out some of these air vents, trying to create kind of a weird OSL effect. And we're just going to go with the darker color kind of all around these vents first. We're also, in a step that I didn't bother showing you, we painted all the talons green, and you can see he's already on his base now in this scene. So I already put him up on his base. We're going to go to next level painting, ancient Chinese technique, Necrotize Green, the greatest green of all time. And we're going to slap it in there, and we're going to go pure Necrotize Green, and we're going to start working kind of from the center out of these vents on this guy's nutsack brain. And we're going to start creating kind of like a weird glowing iridescent effect. And we're just keep blowing it out, as you can see here. It's giving it a really unique effect. Like I said, it's like an alien effect. It really sells it on not being natural. And you could take a moment to, admire the basing there how we're bringing some of that ruin dust up into the tentacles. If you can see any of these scenes, but like I said, don't hyper focus on it. I will show you a tutorial on how to do this. Same thing, go to the other side, start working the vents in. Necrotize Green combos so well with other dark greens. One of my favorites outside of Gnarls Green is Iosin Green from P3. But let me tell you, it's the best greens in the business. Do yourself a favor to change your life. Get Necrotize Green in your life. So now, same thing with this little weird, tongue mouth thing. I don't even know what he does with that. It's disgusting. Same thing, give it a nice fade. Go, but here's a new one. Don't stop now. This is a fluorescent yellow from Vallejo, and we're going to make a gangster gumbo with that and Necrotize Green. Add a little bit of flow improver, get it to percolate, and we're going to just keep going, man. We're going to just keep adding a little bit more brightness to these vents. Go in the center, just kind of drop a couple little dots off on these things, make it look intense. It really helps sell the glow effect, and especially with the final trick of this video, it really sells it. You always want to go really, really, really bright when you're about to do a glaze, and GW still makes the best glaze in the business. I haven't found anyone who does better. Glazes are like washes, but they're much brighter. They're better for this effect here that we're trying to accomplish, and we're going to be using Ancient Tech Waywatcher Green. This is one of my favorite ones right here, and we're going to just start dropping it inside those vents. Tip 5, glaze. Helps you sell it, helps you bring some of the detail back in those vents that we lost with this little OSL effect. Go in there, don't hesitate to be a little bit liberal, but don't let it pull up. You can see we're trying to get it to create a nice little ring in there and fall into those little slots in the vents, and it really just sells that there's something unnatural about this alien, about this floating testicle, as it were. I don't even know what it's called, but it's I can't even look at it without thinking of it as a testicle. Same deal, you know, keep it going, hit every vent with it. Anything you think that'll benefit from this. Even the little tongues that are hanging out of its, I want to say beehole. I don't know what side of the bottle this even is. I don't know if it's its mouth. It's got a little mouth on both sides. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the front or the back of this model is, but I know they're disgusting and they look thoroughly Xenos now to me. Same deal, go to the other side, fill them up, don't stop. Like I said, simple trick 5. Keep it going, or glaze, simple trick 5. I don't mean to misspeak. I've been misspeaking a lot of my videos. We make a lot of videos here at thelongwar.net. Thank you for catching me in my last video. Anyway, thanks for checking out this video. We're going to keep it going. I think next week we're going to do a sick basing video. Anyway, thanks for watching, players. Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.